Alright, folks, welcome to my Week 4 SEC recap. UAB versus first-ranked Georgia. Georgia wins 49-21. Georgia fans are unhappy with Mike Bobo play calling. Another slow first-half start for Georgia. 7 straight SEC games begin for Georgia, and we saw how that game versus South Carolina went. Arkansas versus 12th ranked LSU. LSU wins 34-31. Closer than expected, LSU may be frauds. Arkansas shows fight. Only 3 punts between both teams. Every second half possession resulted in points, other than the intercepted Hail Mary attempt by Arkansas there. But a lot of offense by both teams. 15th ranked Ole Miss versus 13th ranked Alabama. 13th ranked Alabama wins 24-10. Not as close as expected. Saban defeats Kiffin once again. Alabama shows out on defense. Alabama still questionable on offense. Ole Miss in the lane train quiet on offense. University of Texas San Antonio versus 23-ranked Tennessee. 23-ranked Tennessee, 45-14. Tennessee gets revenge on an inferior opponent. Tennessee slows down in second half. Tennessee faces test next week versus South Carolina. I say that's a test because you saw how South Carolina did against Georgia. Tennessee beats the spread. It'll be an interesting game. South Carolina, Tennessee. It's in Knoxville, I believe. Charlotte versus 25th ranked Florida. 25th ranked Florida wins 22-7. Florida possibly high on the win last week versus Tennessee, or looking to next week for a revenge game against Kentucky. Game closer than expected. Obviously, trap game most likely. Lack of red zone offense because the score you see 22-7. That is 1 touchdown and 5 field goals. Florida has 7 straight SEC games right after this, including the last game against FSU. Auburn versus Texas A&M. Texas A&M wins 27-10. Texas A&M wakes up in the second half. Texas A&M impressed me in this game. It showed that they're better than what I thought. I don't know about being the best in the SEC, but they're better than what I thought. This is Auburn's first loss of the season. This is also their first real game of the season. Auburn versus first-ranked Georgia next week, so that should be fun. Kentucky versus Vanderbilt. Kentucky wins 45-28. Another disappointing blowout win for Kentucky. Kentucky needs to improve on the passing game. Vanderbilt clearly gashed by transfer portal. They don't look as good as last year. Kentucky gets ready for Florida next week. That should be a real loud game. It's going to be in Kentucky. It's important to note that 2 of these touchdowns that Kentucky had were pick sixes. So, it's important to note. Memphis versus Missouri. Missouri wins 34-27. Missouri shows out again. Missouri better than expected, especially by everybody. Missouri faces 12th ranked LSU next week, so another test for Missouri. Mississippi State versus South Carolina. South Carolina wins 37-30. Offensive battle. South Carolina is back to 500. South Carolina faces 23rd ranked Tennessee at Knoxville. We saw how South Carolina did in Georgia. They did put up a pretty good fight down there. Kind of give it away at the end, but they put up a fight. Overall, SEC recap. Down year for the SEC as as no team looks juggernaut. No team looks like a juggernaut in the SEC. Might be Pac-12's year. Pac-12 looks like it's trying to go out with a bang this year. I did get all my predictions right. If you watch that video, I predicted every winner correctly this week. Georgia Alabama SEC championship looks most likely as Georgia looks like probably most likely will win the SEC East, barring any surprises. Alabama looks like the best. They could lose to LSU maybe. It just looks like it's not that they're like the best, the like extreme best in the West and the East. It's just that every team every team just looks worse. All SEC matchups next week. No playing out of conference for week 5. And sorry, week 5. But anyway, please like, subscribe, and comment about my SEC recap. And I'll be seeing you hopefully in the next couple hours. See ya.